Questions and answers. With your host, featuring me.
Oh, yes indeed, there are more questions than answers. Like, can we blame our generation's obsession with plastic surgery on most of us playing with Mr. Potato Head when we were a child? Did you have a Mr. Potato Head?
I did.
Did you love him?
Yes.
Very odd, isn't it, that you should be given the tools to make a toy out of a potato. That's a poor man's toy right there, isn't it?
Yes.
There's no kits out there that make locomotives and slot cars from potatoes.
No.
Well, that's a good idea.
It is.
Did you have a Mr. Potato Head?
Yes.
Was it a toy you played with often?
Yes.
My mother said to me that when she was a child, what you used to get was just the parts, and you'd actually get a potato. They wouldn't provide one plastic one
I had the plastic one.
in the box. You just got the parts, and you actually used a proper potato as apparently the way to go. Do you think Mr. Potato Head ever walked up to a urinal in a bar and went, "Oh no, I've left it at home"?
Yes.
That could happen. I think I had a Darth Vader one, actually. They theme them now, don't they? Somewhere in the attic, I think I have a Darth Vader Mr. Potato Head. Hi, America. Hello, world. My name is Adrian Lee, and I am your host. Welcome to the show, More Questions Than Answers, the only paranormal news quiz show anywhere in the world. Each week, my guests and I will search the world's newspapers, websites, and TV shows just for you, to bring you the very best in paranormal talk radio entertainment and enlightenment. We will then test each other's knowledge of the week's events of the mysterious, strange, supernatural, unusual, bizarre, and just plain weird. If you have just tuned in especially to hear the show, then I admire your taste. If you have tuned in by accident, then I admire your luck. I am huddled under my quilt with a large flashlight and a nice cup of tea with tonight's guests, somewhere in the barren wildernesses of the Midwest Plains, with the sound of my elderly mother snoring distantly from the room next door. Each week, we press our ear against the bedroom wall. Whatever my mother listens to before she goes to bed picks and pulls on her unconscious mind, and that's the very tune she then snores. Let's have a listen tonight. Any clues?
A really fast happy birthday?
A really fast happy birthday would be...
Uh-huh.
No, it's not a very fast happy birthday. Any thoughts, anything you'd like to share, Michelle?
No.
What about that 1977 disco hit, Love Is In The Air? Love is in the air, everywhere I look around. Love is in the air. Lucky for my dad, I think.
Yeah.
More than anything. I hope he's got his Bengay and his knee supports tonight. That's going to serve him very well. I will give you 10 points right now, straight off the bat, because this is our Valentine's special, and love is in the air. It's all around us. It's here in the studio. Well, in fact, it's not, is it? It's nitrogen, oxygen, and carbon dioxide is what's actually in the air. But for the sake of this quiz show, love is in the air. I will give you 10 points right now if you can tell me who sang Love is in the Air. He was an Australian gentleman, if that helps you.
Nope.
People will be screaming right now at their television sets, giving you the answer.
I was 2.
Tune in.
Engelbert Humperdinck.
You were 2. It doesn't matter if you was 2. I know about the 1960s, but I wasn't born in the night. It was close, but I wasn't born in the 60s.
Clive.
It was a gentleman named John Paul Young. There you go. Love is in the air. Welcome to our Valentine's Day special. Wherever you are in the world, tuning in. We're in 190 countries, everywhere around the globe. Happy Valentine's Day to you. And we've made a bit of an effort. There's some flowers. There's chocolates. We are resplendent in shades of red, maroon, and pink this evening. So thank you for embracing the Valentine's Day spirit wherever you are in the world. We love you, and you will get a hug when I see you next. So snuggle under your covers, turn out your lights, and hold on tight. That's not the hug, by the way. That could be applied to that, couldn't it? Turn out your light and hold on tight.
Could be.
It's coming. It's
Yep.
coming for you. The rules are very simple. Points will be awarded randomly for being interesting or for making me laugh or shiver in horror. Extra points will be available for shock and or value. To help me control my rowdy panel of recidivists and reprobates, I will employ what I have called the inappropriate bell. An example of this would be... always very impressive. The panel have no idea what's coming. I have no idea what stories they have for tonight. So let me introduce my guests. Firstly, the mysterious and effervescent Heather Morris. She's been a paranormal investigator for many years with her own team called Hellhound Investigations and does all of her best work in the shadows. She is now one of the leading audio and EVP experts with the International Paranormal Society and brings her knowledge and research skills to tonight's show. She's also a producer and sound engineer. Heather realised this week that Facebook is a lot like jail. You sit around, write on walls and get poked by random people. Happy Valentine's Day. Welcome to the show, Heather.
Hello.
How are you? Are you enjoying your Valentine's Day?
It's all right.
You've got lots of gifts in front of you that we'll be opening
Yeah, now it's better.
later in the show. Look at you over there with your balloons. Having fun. I once got assaulted inappropriately in a jail. Did you know that? My family takes Monopoly way too seriously. Honestly. Years and years of therapy. We were banned from playing Monopoly in our house. It ended up in fights. I bet you played Monopoly, didn't you? And I bet you hid all the money.
Under the board.
So when people suddenly thought that you were down to your last little house and you just had $100 in the bank, you'd go looking for the money. You'd squirrel away.
Yep.
You did that as well.
Sure.
I think it's a woman thing. I think the women are squirreling their money away. It was banned. We couldn't play Monopoly in our house. There were fights. If it got to the fruition of hotels, then, and also it's very kind of capitalist, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think in a really working class, East London, kind of socialist environment, Monopoly is kind of frowned upon, isn't it? We should play a board game where everyone gets free healthcare and free education. And we share out the money at the end. And everybody's happy. I also wish to introduce the mad and crazy Michelle Corrie. She was born and raised in Mora, Minnesota, and has a keen and avid interest in all things paranormal. Michelle thanks God every single day that when she was young and stupid, there were no camera phones.
Yes.
Welcome to the show, Michelle.
Thank you.
I left my phone under my pillow once. And when I looked in the morning, when I woke up, there was a $1 bill. There you go.
Oh.
I think it was the Bluetooth fairy.
Oh, stop.
I love this show. They're mad, they're bad, and they are paranormal. This is Series 4, Episode 29. It's our 302nd show, if you're keeping count, which is quite remarkable. This is our Valentine's Day special, so strap yourself in. Get yourself a nice cup of hot chocolate. Eat your chocolates. Look at your roses. Wear your sexy underwear. We're going to be with you for the next 50 minutes, so we'll make the most of this and have a little bit of fun. Thank you for joining us every week on MCN6. We have a watch party. At this very moment, we are 100% interactive. We're live right now on Facebook. If you go to More Questions Than Answers on Facebook with Adrian Lee, you can join in. I'm about to read out a quiz. There is method in this. You will leave this show with more than you arrive with, kicking and screaming. So, if you go to Facebook, you can play along at home. You can actually answer the questions. There's hundreds of people on there sharing gifts, sharing jokes, friendship, frivolities. You never know. You might get a telephone number or a bit of a winky eye from a member of the opposite sex. If you're single tonight, you can go on there. And just remember to invite us to the wedding.
Yes.
Is all I'd ask. Make sure we get a plate of food. I'm happy with that. Would you be happy with that?
Yes.
Salmon or chicken?
Salmon.
Salmon. Yeah, don't get the salmon on an aeroplane, though.
No.
Or the pasta, actually, while we're on the subject of eating aeroplane food. So as convention dictates, we start the first round proper with the mashed potato Martin-sponsored gong of infinite knowledge. I should have been more prepared and got me beater out early.
Oh.
With, I say, madam, it's a bit early for that, isn't it?
Yeah.
with the mashed potato sponsored gong of infinite knowledge, with the gratin of statistics, no less, and the fries of facts. Stand back.
Martine.
Happy Valentine's
Happy
Day,
Valentine's
Martin.
Day, Martin, in New York. That's very kind of you to sponsor our gongage and all things gong related on our show. Today, as I mentioned before, we are celebrating Valentine's Day. So for the first time in the history of MQTA radio, I cannot believe that strange, bizarre and fascinating facts about Valentine's Day. Feeling confident?
No.
Any Valentine's Day stories you'd like to share? Terrible dates, worst presents, things that went wrong, someone you should have given something to, mishaps, japes, anything you'd like to share. It's not much fun here in Minnesota, is it?
No.
I was very shy and retiring, so I didn't engage too much in Valentine's Day, and I never kissed a girl until I was 23, so it kind of never happened to me as a kid.
Right.
And I'm sticking with that. There are two theories on how Valentine's Day started, and you'll be asked questions on both of them. So for the first one says that it was a Roman festival celebrated on the 15th of February in a festival called Lupercalia. So we're in Rome. It's the 1st century AD. We're celebrating Lupercalia because it's the 15th of February. I mean, what else would we be doing, right?
Right.
You got your toga, you got your glass of wine, you're wearing your sandals, you're overlooking the whole of Rome. It'll be fabulous when they finish it. Men stripped naked and did what to young women? If you tell me what they did on the 15th of February to young women, you will win your points this evening. But they stripped naked. They took all their clothes off. Having said that, they did like to run around with very little clothes in the day. The Olympic Games, of course, originally in Greece, they were running around naked. I believe the word gymnasium, and every school has one, actually derives from the word naked, which is a little bit odd and strange if you're going to the school gym. But gym and gymnasium means to be naked, of course, because the sports you would do naked. So, Miss Morris, the Romans stripped themselves naked and did what to young women?
They had a parade. Like, this is for sale, this is for sale.
So they walked around the
Love for
town.
sale.
You're downtown Rome.
Yep.
Yes. By the way, it's going to be a little bit chilly in Rome. I will say that on the 15th of February, even though we're in Italy, there'll be a wind whistling through the Urals, if you're unlucky. Everything's blowing around in the breeze. You are suggesting the men stripped themselves naked and walked around the town, parading everything they owned
Yep.
to prospective young women. Here's the twig and berries. Here's the tutti frutti.
Yep.
We're in Italy, of course, and it's all ice cream. That's all fruit, by the way, in Italy.
Yes.
Tutti frutti is all
Tutti
fruit. So here's the tutti frutti. Do you want to flake with that?
Yeah.
Lovely. You're suggesting parading naked in front of the prospective ladies.
Yep.
Corrie, what do you think they did to the women? Naked.
They threw rose petals on them.
Roses, of course, from the Mediterranean. That's a very, very good answer. Does anyone want to jump in and give me something other than that? I know Morris comes up with strange and bizarre things from time to time with her cerebral redundancy.
I can't honestly think of anything. Roll in the mud.
They
They-
chased them with a...
They did something to them.
They
bearing in
beat
mind-
them with a stick.
Yes, they did. Yes, Corrie gets the points this evening for
What
beating
kind
it
of stick?
with a stick. Well, she's not 100% correct, but she's close enough that I want to move on and we've got lots more questions.
Ew.
Oh.
They spanked the women in the hope of increasing their fertility.
Oh.
So if you're looking for a child out there, if you wish to have your loins embraced by childhood, then obviously a good spanking is what's required at that point. But they stripped naked, ran through the streets and spanked women, hoping to increase their fertility. I think that should happen more on the 15th of February. Mind you, not out there at the moment. It's minus 27.
Ow.
Anything dangling in the breeze is going to quickly turn into an icicle and just snap off in a matter of moments, is exactly what's going to happen. X Factor, of course, the original Roman sunblock. I love
No.
this show. That makes
No.
me very, very happy. But Michelle has started the Valentine's Day special on 2 rose petals slippery. Let me spank your bottom points. How did the phrase wearing your heart on your sleeve originally come from? So we've all heard the phrase wearing your heart on your sleeve. I just need you to weave a story to tell me how that came about, Miss Morris.
Some farmers'
Always starts with farmers,
Daughters,
doesn't it? Farmers' daughters.
dad took
Farmer's
a
daughter's
suitor's
dad.
heart and ripped it from his chest and then put it on his arm.
So you're at the school dance. You've noticed someone you like. They're wearing their high karate. There's the smell of Biactyl and Brill cream wafting through the air. You've given someone the eye at the farmer's ball. Before
Dad
you know where
doesn't
you
like
are,
you.
Dad's come along.
Ripped your heart out.
That's not very fair, is it? You're not going to be looking to catch the eye. You want a couple of slow dances, don't you? To Hello by Lionel Richie with a little mini Mars bar pressing in your belly. And before you know where you
Stop
are,
it.
your dad's come along and you've got some problems.
Yeah.
Wow. Very dark and very gothic, Morris. I see how your brain works.
I like it.
Corrie, the phrase wearing your heart on your sleeve.
I don't think this is right, but I'm going to say it goes back to the times of knights when they would wear a ribbon of their lady.
I like your thinking. You're in the right time period. We're in the Middle Ages here. Maybe a little bit later, perhaps. Knights were a little bit earlier than the Middle Ages, perhaps. But you're in the right area.
Heart on your sleeve.
I will tell you, in the Middle Ages, men and women drew names out of a hat. Could have been a helmet, of course. Who knows?
Yes.
To see who their Valentines would be. They would spend the rest of the week walking around with the name of their loved one on their arms so everyone would know their true feelings. So you're walking through town. It's the village. It's the Middle Ages. You've got bubonic plague, cholera, typhoid. People are dying of all kinds of starvation, malnutrition. But you're walking around town and you've got the name Dave written on your arm. And that's where that comes from. If you want to show people your true feelings in the medieval period, get their name written on a bit of paper, attach it to your arm.
Do you get to draw again if you don't like him?
Yeah, what happened if you didn't like that one?
What if I didn't like Clive?
I get the impression there were so few people knocking around back in the medieval period that were suitable and eligible in the village that you were lucky to get what you got.
Those are not the same thing.
Out of the
Suitable and eligible don't have to be the same thing.
Well, aren't you glad we're not living in the Middle Ages?
Yes.
Because that would be a terrible
Terrible.
thing. The Middle Ages are also called the Dark Ages because, as you quite rightly said, there was many nights. I love this show. It is a joy to behold. What is the most popular flavour in a box of Valentine's Day candies? There you go. What's your favourite? What do you think the survey said?
Caramel.
The survey said... That was rather loud, wasn't it, and uncalled for? I'm sorry if my mother's watching. I didn't really just blow a raspberry on American television. That would be awful, wouldn't it? No need for my standards to drop just because I'm here. I'm still eating hamburgers and pizza with a knife and fork, I'll have you know. Morris.
I told you already.
I
You
wasn't
know I'm
listening. I wasn't paying any attention.
Caramel.
Caramel. No. Caramel is the most popular flavour of Valentine's Day chocolates.
It's the one everybody fights over.
It's the one everyone fights over if you're in Morris's family. What do you think, Corrie?
I'll say the truffle.
You are going with the all chocolate. Morris is 100% correct, and number one was caramel, so I'll give her a couple of sticky, oh my god, a filling has just come out and it's Sunday points. Nuts would have got you a second. Nuts covered in chocolate, it's true enough, would get you second place. There you go. Chocolate, flavoured chocolates.
Strange.
You're laughing. I tell you 100% true. Go and look at a Hershey bar right now. If you have a Hershey bar anywhere in your house, go and look at the wrapper. One of the ingredients, when it says milk, you know, all the kind of nasty fats and
Sugar.
it actually says chocolate. They put chocolate flavouring in Hershey bars. This would never happen in Europe. Do you know why?
Because it's regulated.
Well, it's because the chocolate is the chocolate flavour. Because it's made from cocoa. It's chocolate. If you buy chocolate in Europe, it tastes like chocolate because there's chocolate in it. Not because you have to put chocolate flavouring into some fat and milk and colour it brown. That's like having oranges that you have to inject with orange flavouring because they're not orangey enough.
Right.
This is 100% true, but caramels are the first one on the list. Nuts, chocolate, anything cream-filled would get you fourth place. Bottom of the list, and I'm pleased about this, is coconut. Devil's work. The last one left in the tin. If we had Christmas candies, there's a big tin of candies you can get in
Yes.
Britain called Quality Street. And I will tell you that come January, February, when everyone's gone in there and taken their pick of all the ones they want, the ones at the bottom of the tin are coconut and orange creams. So you have a choice to make, don't you? Come February, you're sat there and you think to yourself, do I want coconut or orange cream? And they stay there the entire year. No one touches them. They're terrible. They're worse than Werther's. No bugger likes those, I tell you. Life is like a box of chocolates. I don't want to share it with you.
Oh.
Happy days. What profession is the biggest recipient of Valentine's Day gifts and candies in America?
Teachers.
You are suggesting, Miss Morris, that teachers receive the biggest recipient of Valentine's gifts every year in the country.
Yep.
What do you think? What do you think as a vocation? Going to say a vacation. I guess teachers wouldn't be very happy about that, but I've taught in Europe. I don't know what the teachers in this country are doing. They're never in school. Nothing to do with me. I can go home again. What do you think the biggest recipient of professions are for Valentine's Day gifts?
Well.
This is Michelle not knowing the answer and having no clue of a plan B.
Zookeepers.
Zookeepers often, of course, get their chocolates from their animals. Little monkeys delivering gifts for them, wrapped up with string. I bet the ones with the nuts have disappeared, though.
Yes.
Where have all the nut ones gone? There's a monkey in the corner. There you go. Very, very disappointing for you that Heather actually nailed it on the head with the very first answer. It is, in fact, teachers. Teachers receive the most Valentine's Day gifts and candies of all professions anywhere in America. And I'll give you a couple of points for that.
Thank you.
So you're now both on 4 and all to play for.
Yes.
Neck and neck. Wow. I remember giving out lots of Valentine's Day cards and love notes when I was at school. Can't teach there anymore. You saw that lumbering over the hill, didn't you?
Yep.
Wow. The biggest number of chocolate makers are in which state? They got their figures by the census records. So I need you to tell me the most amount of chocolate makers are in which state?
Pennsylvania.
In America. Why pick that one?
Because that's where Hershey, Pennsylvania is.
Yes, that's one big factory, so that would account for one.
Yes.
So you're thinking they're not mopped up all the competition around them then? There's a big chocolate.
Pennsylvania.
You're going to go with Pennsylvania. Well, it's like libraries, isn't it? Libraries are just buildings surrounded by universities. That's how that works. You're suggesting that Hershey's is surrounding itself with satellite chocolate makers in the same area.
Yep.
Okay. You have 51 states to choose from, so choose
What?
wisely. There's 52 states, isn't there, or 50?
50.
I was including Puerto Rico
Wow.
and the Falkland Islands. I've not even looked at the citizenship test. Didn't there used to be 52 and they moved it down to 50?
God.
There was
To be
49
fair,
until Alaska.
Hang on a second. Let's put the. I'm not American. Let's start talking. How many counties are there in Britain?
Not that many.
I don't know the answer to this, but you see where I'm going with that. So there's now 49 options. You don't have as many options as I thought, but you still have a lot to choose from.
California.
Oh, you'll see why I'm laughing. It is California. You have won your
Yay.
points. This is according to the US Census records. There is. Do you want to have a guess? I'll give you more points. How many chocolate makers do you think are in California? It's the highest number in America.
150?
You're not a million miles away. What do you think, Morris?
236.
You've gone the wrong way. I'm going to give Corrie a couple of points for getting California and another couple of points for getting the closest to 137 chocolate makers. The reason I'm laughing is we now, of course, know that there's 50 states in America because I've not been paying attention to Sesame Street recently.
Right.
And there's 1 and 2, and the number 1 is California and number 2 is Pennsylvania. How you've managed to get both of them
Nice.
makes me think that you've both cheated and looked at my notes when I went
that
off
was
before
our
the
plan,
show
wasn't it?
to squeeze the lemon. If you're interested, Pennsylvania is on 119. So if they open another kind of 16 stores, they'll be equal, is where we are. How does a chocolate box weigh 500 grams, but I then put on 2 kilos?
I know.
You explain to me how that works. That's strange and bizarre science right there. Michelle is on 8. I'm yet to score, but I often cheat, so don't worry if you're at home thinking Adrian's got no points. How's he going to manage? Everything is to play for because I'm in charge. This is how that works, and Heather's currently on 4. Using an X to represent a kiss. You don't really do that in this country, do you?
No.
If I was to write a little card or a message, I'd put a little kiss behind it, a little
I
X.
do.
X for a kiss. There you go. But in Britain, if you receive a message with a little X after it, that is a kiss. If you've got 3 X's, you're in luck. Go and clean your teeth, pluck your eyebrows, shave your legs. You're going to be in for a surprise. So using an X to represent a kiss when signing a Valentine's Day card comes from where? And there are 2 answers. Either one will get you the points. How did that become a convention? At what point did the semiotics of looking at that and having the psychological perception to work out that an X represents a kiss come about, Miss
Came
Morris?
from pirates.
Pirates.
Arg.
It came from pirates.
X marks the spot.
Did I tell you about my experiments with grog?
Oh, no.
I love history. I'm a historian. I decided to research what's in grog, and I wanted to taste what grog would have tasted like back in the day. You can make your own grog. It's very simple. You get yourself some rum, because it's pirates and they're all around the Caribbean. You dump a lot of sugar in it, or simple syrup. You then add water and lemon juice, and you have grog. It's very tasty. I would recommend making some grog anytime you wish, to be sat at home with your feet up watching NASCAR, or you could be flushing M&Ms down the toilet and watching them go around in a circle. But either way, you can have a grog-filled evening. You have the recipe for grog. I would recommend you try it, and you can pretend you're a pirate. You can sit there with your feet up, with your eye patch on, your little monkey whittering away in your ear, and enjoying your evening.
Yes.
So, you are suggesting it came from pirates. How did the pirates manage to get a kiss then? How did that come about? X marks the spot.
Yes.
So X on a beach, and if you've been watching The Curse of Oak Island with us for the last 45 years, you'll understand that seems to be an impossibility for those poor lads.
No
you are
X's.
suggesting it comes from pirates
Arr.
putting a little X on the spot
Yep.
for where your treasure's hidden.
Yep.
If you're looking for a sunken chest, that's where you want to be looking. What are you thinking, Michelle?
I'm thinking it came from Amsterdam
You've no idea why, though, have you?
because of the X's.
Oh, triple X.
Yes.
Getting a bit sleazy and a little bit insalubrious there. You, of course, have come from Amsterdam.
Yes.
You've lived there, haven't you? And you speak a bit of Dutch.
A little.
Okay.
Sorry.
None that you could present to us at any given moment then.
Maybe.
Wow. Okay. So we're not going to get any Dutch out of Michelle this evening, though she claims she did live there at one point
I did.
in time. You have 2 answers to give. They put the X there originally in the medieval period because no one could read. So the X represented a kiss because there was no way that they could tell you on a piece of paper on Valentine's Day. It's no good writing a Valentine's Day card if you can't write and they can't read. So an X was substituted, but the reason the X was there in the first place is people kissed the crucifix. And so they associated kissing a crucifix or a Bible with a cross for kissing. The 2 got interlinked. What is more awkward, the first kiss or the first fart? What do you think, ladies? First kiss awkward, first fart awkward.
Depends on when it happens.
And it depends on whether you're giving or receiving of either.
Let's just say for the benefit of this evening, what would be the worst place in when you're finally meeting the girlfriend's parents on Sunday dinner and you're sat there and her dad, who's looking at you up and down, and he's a farmer and he's going to take your beating heart out of your chest at any moment, like Raiders of the Lost Ark, and hold it up and shout, "Oh, Galili." Or, "Don't look, Mary." And suddenly you drop your guts at the dinner table. You bubble up the ghost, if you wish to quote the Iliad. That would be a bad place, wouldn't it?
Yes.
And then what if you followed through during the main course? I'm going to have to excuse myself. All kinds of terrible things. We never got a real answer there, did we? What's the worst kissing experience you can remember? Any bad kisses, seeing we're doing our Valentines? I was going to say any bad farts you remember, but I'm pitching myself higher than that right now. But if you're on Facebook, feel free to jump in with a story of your worst kisses and worst farts, and we'll read those out next week. We'll make a whole show on the back of that. We'll make it themed. We'll come in wearing shades of brown. Worst kiss?
Oh, just when they go straight in with a lot of tongue.
So like you're like a toad nesting for the winter in a box, working its way around, finding that little bit of chewing gum you place there for later on the way home.
Gotta go.
Worst kisses? Worst?
Fish lips.
What about when your grandmother goes to kiss you as a kid and her tongue slips in by accident? That's pretty grim, isn't it, in terms of kisses, do you not think? I've got a little pug dog, and it likes to lick my face, and it's amazing. The moment I open my mouth, it's incredible how it's like a little piece of ham blowing in the wind. Honestly, terrible to do. Although I have read on Wikipedia and other good sources of information that dog saliva is actually very good for you. It contains a lot of antibodies, so I don't know whether that's true or not. I'm not looking to test this theory.
No.
But I did look it up because I did wonder if it was a good or a bad thing that our tongues met on one or two occasions by accident. And I looked that up thinking...
Accident.
Well, I've seen what the dog's licking. That's the problem. That's where the research comes in. I've watched an hour of where that dog's been licking.
Gross.
It can't be good, can it? I have no idea what the score is anymore, and I don't think anyone's won any points. Some Valentine's Day comes about, they think, because St. Valentine did what to soldiers? St. Valentine did what to soldiers, and it was illegal. He got killed for it and became martyred and became a saint. He got martyred and executed on February the 14th. He upset the Romans. They weren't happy with him at all. So St. Valentine's Day did this to soldiers. It was illegal. He got caught. He was executed. He was made a martyr on February the 14th. You just need to tell me what he did wrong. In Romans' eyes.
Carried back love letters.
He was almost like a Roman version of the post office.
Like the messenger.
He was the mailman.
Mm-hmm.
In the same way that St. Nicholas went around putting the little bags of money for dowries for women on the shelves and window sills of poor families. So the fathers could get rid of their daughters. So you are suggesting St. Valentine's Day was an early Roman version of the mail service. And why would the Romans be unhappy with this?
They don't want them talking to their women.
Fair enough. Romans, Italy, very possessive, of course, of their ladies. Any thoughts, Michelle? Anything you'd like to share?
Maybe he was trying to convert them or giving them communion?
Well, you're going along the right lines because obviously St. Valentine was Christian. And we know, of course, that the Romans were pagan. St. Paul wrote, didn't he, in Corinthians to the Romans to talk about Christianity. So you're going along the right path. I will tell you, the thing he did that they were very unhappy about, that he did to soldiers, was he married them. The Roman Emperor, Claudius II, was very unhappy because he wanted single soldiers. Soldiers that were single fought harder in battle because they had nothing to lose.
Right.
If you're thinking of your sweetheart back home who's married with a couple of kids, then you don't fight as hard. You're not as enthusiastic when the whistle's blown and you've got to run in to the Visigoths or the Gauls or the Brits, the Angles, the Celts, whoever you're giving a good pasting to at any given time. So St. Valentine's married the soldiers to their sweethearts. He was caught. They weren't happy with him. He was executed on February the 14th. My ex once gave me a week of the silent treatment. Have you ever given anyone a week of the silent treatment?
Probably not.
I'm going to start.
You're going to start now. Well, let's get the quiz finished, and then this wouldn't be good for me if I say, Miss Morris, what do you think? And you're sat there going, like a bulldog who's licking a wasp. My ex one gave me a week of the silent treatment without actually telling me. And she wasn't happy at the end of that week when I declared, hey, we're getting along pretty good at the moment, aren't we?
God.
Didn't go down very well at all. That was then. But this is now as we enter our favourite part of the show. It's the mailbag.
Mailbag! Love it.
We love the
It's
mailbag.
a mailbag.
This is going to be very interesting this week. And I'm going to have to contort myself into strange shapes and places because obviously I'm wired up here in all kinds of ways and I can't move around very freely. And if you've watched the show on a regular basis, the chair I'm currently sitting on has wheels on a concrete floor And there's been times when it's got away from me.
I know your pain.
You do know my pain. You share my pain. That's very true. Before we jump into all of our Valentine's Day gifts and cards, Mike, who you know very well, of course,
Yes.
your brother, he says, I finally got to listen to the 300th show. Congratulations. Thanks for the laugh. So thank you for that.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike. Love
we
you.
have been given many parcels with lots of fun and fabulous things. I'm going to do my best to work my way through them. I know you like watching us open these on air, and I want to thank everyone for our Valentine's Day wishes, all of our cards, our chocolates, all of our packages. I'm going to make an attempt to start grabbing them now. It's almost like Christmas again, isn't it? While I'm doing that, Miss Morris, would you like to tell our beautiful, aesthetically pleasing listeners how they can contribute a single dollar to the show and what they get for their dollar?
If you feel like it, why don't you head on over to patreon.com and look for more questions and answers with Adrian Lee or MQTA Radio, where you'll be able to catch up with some fun episodes that have never been heard or seen before, a few radio plays, and what is it, Ghostbusters and Sons is on
Ghostbusters
there.
and Sons.
Yeah.
Yes,
and
this show is free. It'll always be free. But if you wish to donate a single dollar to keep us going, we've been going now for 7 or 8 years. We're on our 302nd episode. You're more than welcome to go on there. Donate a single dollar. We have to pay for the studio time, the equipment, the paper, all of the things you see around you. And we'd appreciate that. It's very kind of you. Keep us going. We don't make a profit. We do this for the fun of it. I have found the first parcel. I will open this. This is for our 300th episode, actually. This is from Deanna in Jackson. So she's given us a
thank you,
fantastic card.
Deanna.
It's got woohoo
Cute.
written on it. And a note has come out of there. She has written in the card, to the best group of people, Adrian, Heather and Michelle, congratulations on 300 episodes,
Thank
Deanna.
you.
So we want to thank you for that. In the note, this is prism paper, by the way. I've noticed that she's got some prism paper here.
Yeah.
She's told us that she's given us each a parcel, a package. So if you'd like to open them, we have the blue one there, Michelle. If you'd like to jump in, you have the black one, which is very apt for Heather. If
Yay.
you've ever watched this show, red is my favourite colour. So we're going to leap in. Oh, chocolates! Look at that.
chocolate.
He's not my favorite.
We
These are
will
my
be.
favorite.
Well, earlier we said that caramel and nuts were the 1 and 2 combination for chocolates, and here we have caramel
and nuts.
and nuts all in the
Thank
same
you.
package.
Thank
So thank
you.
you for that. We also
Oh.
have a can of orange soda. I am obsessed with orange soda, so thank you for that. We'll be drinking that shortly. You got yourself chocolates. What did you get, girls? I didn't even see.
Teeth bars.
Oh, we'll be sharing those out.
No, we won't.
No.
We won't be sharing those out.
No.
Life is a box of chocolates. You're not getting any of mine.
Yeah.
That's right. Thank you.
I have another parcel. Would you like to tell our listeners all the platforms they can find us on and the Not For Your Mother section?
You can find us on SoundCloud, TuneIn, Stitcher, TuneOut, Brussels Sprouts, Beanfly.
Skin tag.
This is what happens
Yeah.
when you leave it up to other people to do your job for you. Yes. What was that? Bean Sprouts Radio? Skin
Yeah.
Tag Radio?
Yeah.
Look at this for a little Valentine's card. It's Snoopy.
Oh my God.
It's from John and Lisa.
Oh,
Stop it. I love that.
That's fantastic.
Thank
I'm gonna
you,
put
John
him
and
here.
Lisa.
Oh.
That's a fantastic little card. We also
oh
have
my
a
God,
bag.
look at your bag.
Well,
Oh,
you have one too. So
stop
this
it.
is from John and Lisa for Valentine's Day. Do you want to leap in and have a look?
Of course.
Got a
They know
head.
us very well, don't
Thank
they?
you.
Wow.
Alcohol.
Oh, chocolate.
And more alcohol.
Right on.
I have my favourite teas,
I got
Earl Grey
chocolate.
Oh,
and English breakfast
fuzzy
tea.
socks. I love them. I need them.
And we have chocolates. The ladies have got socks. What else have you got there, girls?
I
More
got
drink.
socks and chocolate and drinks. I loves them. Thank
Chocolate.
you.
Thank you, John and Lisa. Thank you.
They know how cold the studio is, don't they?
Yes. I'm going to wear them on my hands.
Thank you very
Now
much.
we have one more parcel left. This is Deanna
Thank
again.
you.
This is now our Valentine's Day gift. So we have some
Aw.
kisses. I'm running out of space. I have a card.
I'm going to have a drink.
I will open this up. There's a little bulldog on the front of that.
Aw.
He's a cute one, isn't he? We were talking about bulldogs earlier. Happy Valentine's Day. Enjoy the treats. Thanks for all the laughs. Deanna, I will place her card there. I'm running out of space. I need a
Yes.
bigger desk. Would you like to open your packages? This is from Deanna. I've got a nice
Thank
little
you,
chocolate
Deanna.
rose. I have a mug. Also need a pair of scissors, I would suggest.
Oh my God. I love this so much.
You're happy, aren't you, Morris?
Yes.
Put the bag on the floor. I can't see what you got there. Oh, the dog's going to eat it, isn't it? I
Yes.
see what's happening.
Thank you, Deanna.
Thank you, Deanna. I love this. Absolutely. I love everything.
Wow.
This is
that's
my
a
favorite
nice little
color.
mug. Thank you. That's very kind of you. I should place that there. In fact, probably not a good idea with the dog sniffing around.
Oh.
We just want to thank everyone for all of your kind messages.
That's so nice.
For all
Thank
of
you
your
so
packages.
much.
We really support and thank you for your support. We really love everything you do for us, and all the packages and parcels of your letters over the last 8 or 9 years are all around the studio. They're on the walls. So thank you for helping us on our journey, and thank you for supporting us from the very first day, 8 or 9. You're starting on the alcohol, aren't you?
Yep. Waste not, want
I
not.
can't do a great deal with the tea bags, can
Sure
I?
you
Unless I
can.
suddenly magic up
What?
some hot water. Ah, there you go. Look at that. Get it down, you sweetheart. It's going to be a long night.
Yeah, it is. Gonna
Also
get better.
wish to mention, we're on MCN6, of course, every Saturday night. Go to mcn6.org. You can stream us on any device, anywhere in the world. We have 250,000 listens on SoundCloud alone in 190 countries all over the world. You can also find us on Roku if you search for MCN6. All of our shows are now on YouTube, so if you go to More Questions and Answers with Adrian Lee, you can find our YouTube channel, and there's lots of fun outtakes, lots of shows on there for you to watch as well. I also want to mention the Paranormal Files. There's a t-shirt somewhere here hanging up. There we go, up there. I did some investigations, paranormal investigations, with a couple of great lads from Texas. So if you go on YouTube, search for the Paranormal Files, you will find me on there doing paranormal investigations at some of the most haunted buildings in Minnesota. Would you like to discuss what we do on a Tuesday evening, Miss Morris?
On Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock, we all turn on the History Channel. Then we jump on our computers and we go to More Questions and Answers with Adrian Lee. And we grab drinks like these. And we watch The Curse of Oak Island. And then we drink a lot because we're bored.
I was going to mention what everyone missed last week if they didn't see it, but I can't for the life of me remember. I think they found a padlock.
Iron
And they
bolt
found,
holder.
they found an iron spike with a loop in the end and a padlock. So that was 65 minutes of my life well spent. So you can join us on there. And don't forget, I have many books out, and I've got some exciting news coming up about a book I'm going to be publishing in the next month or so that no one knows anything about. It's a huge secret. So I'm looking forward to telling you about that. But if you wish to go on Amazon, search for Adrian Lee. I've got about 10 books on ghosts, hauntings, history, the Dakota War, how to be a psychic, theology, all kinds of fun and interesting things. I'm up to 109 reviews for my Christian psychic book. Most of them are good, I might add. 5 out of 5 stars for my latest book on the ghosts of the US Dakota War. So you can go and look for those and find those, as well as we enter our first round proper with Michelle on 8. I am yet to score. Heather is on 4. And remember, we do not do orbs.
Thank you, everybody, for all the wonderful gifts.
Thank you so much.
That is very kind of you. We need a show just dedicated to opening these. Perhaps we should do a little extras.
Yes.
Maybe on Patreon we'll spend more time going through our packages and actually spending time drinking and eating, and they can sit and watch us getting drunk and filling our bodies to
With
the
alcohol.
big chocolate
And chocolate.
bloat is where we are. Holly Willoughby was left freaked out as a Marilyn Monroe lookalike who lives in the Stars Los Angeles home claims she haunts it. The 39-year-old was stunned as TikTok star Jasmine Chiswell described hearing footsteps in the night and the feeling of being hugged. That's like being married to someone working the night shift, isn't it? Hearing footsteps in the middle of the night and the feeling of being hugged occasionally. After Marilyn's superfan Jasmine told how it's a dream come true to live in the same house as the blonde bombshell, Holly said, "That's crazy, but more than that, she might still have a presence around the house." "There have been so many weird things that have happened," said Jasmine on today's This Morning program. "We've tried to debunk the things that we hear, but so many people have experienced things that we just can't explain."
They haven't tried very hard, huh?
People feel they are getting hugged. We've heard voices and we hear footsteps every single night, although no one's sung Happy Birthday badly yet.
Oh.
Good news. I'm surprised you haven't heard them now because it's so early in the morning, she said. It happens all the time. We had the house checked to see if it's an animal, but we don't know where they're coming from. We've also had a psychic over, and she believes it's Marilyn and her husband Joe DiMaggio and possibly another ghost that likes to play tricks. I wonder if she could get to fourth base with that ghost. See what I did there? Little bit of sports. Like I know anything about sport in this country. Holly's co-host was fascinated by the TikTok star's claim. Putting a positive spin on the ghostly goings-on, he said, well, if a ghost comes in and hugs you, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's a nice presence for sure. Holly looked horrified as she admitted, I'm not so sure. Phil laughed. Well, yes, it would freak you out, but we all want a hug nowadays, even if it's from someone we can't see.
Bunk.
Jazz, if you are playing the Bell Bunk and Snort drinking game, I am amazed I got 3/4 of the way through my story before that was called on me. You can have a drink wherever you are in the world. So pros, salute, skull, and cheers. Jasmine bought the 2 million mansion Marilyn shared with her baseball legend husband Joe DiMaggio after moving to Hollywood. We're in the wrong business, aren't we?
Apparently.
How does a Marilyn Monroe lookalike afford a $2 million house?
That's a lot of gigs.
Has anyone ever said to you, you look like somebody? Has someone come up to you and said, you look like, what did they say? Olive oil from Popeye.
Oh.
Okay, no, just, I'll blow it out.
I used to look like Judy Garland.
Really? Judy, what, a young Judy Garland or a...
Dorothy.
I was going to say, or the one that was alcoholic and abusing drugs and died at 47.
TikTok.
You look like a young Judy Garland. How long ago was that?
When I was little, I always
when
had
you were
2
young.
braids, and I have eyes like Judy Garland. There's
Like Shirley
Deep set.
Temple.
Could be
Yeah.
worse. Could have been Liza.
true.
Did anyone say you look like anybody?
Don't.
No, I'm not. I'm just opening this up.
No.
A film star, maybe?
No.
Frankenstein? No, no one like that. No one said you look like anybody.
No.
Ever.
Ever.
When I was younger, probably around 15 or 16, I was told I looked like Donny Osmond. And then I went through a stage in my early 20s and I got stopped in and around London because, I can't remember his name. Who was the guy in Singles? The film Singles was very, very popular. What was his name? It'll come to
Vince
me in a
Vaughn?
minute.
No. Matt.
Matt Dillon, there's the guy.
Oh, Matt Dillon.
We've gone down.
Singles.
We've
Gotcha.
gone different paths since, I might add. But there was a time at 21, 22 when I looked like Matt Dillon. I actually got stopped in London, wandering around several times. But like I say, our paths have gone down different avenues since then. Wow. The 27-year-old beauty, who has 9.2 million TikTok followers, lives there with her music producer husband.
And that's
Now-
how you
now,
afford
that's how
it.
you afford a $2 million house. Ghost of Marilyn Monroe, or that's just a no-go. You decide. Go to our Facebook site, More Questions and Answers with Adrian Lee, and you can see the story in full. Miss Morris, what have you got for me tonight in the round of ghosts and hauntings?
I have got a great story for you, Michelle.
What about
Are
me?
you
Do I not get a great
excited?
story?
Nobody cares.
Wow.
So are you ready, Michelle?
Do I need the bucket?
No.
Okay.
This is not child's play, my friend. The Chucky doll has been featured in an Errant Amber Alert in Texas.
Oh my God.
Yep.
That's hilarious.
Well, rest assured, Chucky is not on the loose. The Texas Department of Public Safety has apologized after mistakenly issuing an Amber Alert that said the killer doll featured in the 1988 film Child's Play was suspect in the kidnapping of his 5-year-old son, Glenn Ray, who was featured in The Seed of Chucky.
Oh my God.
The emergency alert described Chucky as a 3-foot 1-inch tall doll wearing blue denim overalls with multicolored striped long sleeve shirt, wielding a huge kitchen knife.
What part of the world is this?
Texas.
Texas, is it? Oh, okay. Just checking.
The alert mistakenly sent out, it was actually sent out 3 times last week to all Amber Alert subscribers. So they all got it.
So this doll's gone missing, is it, under strange circumstances?
The agency said it was actually a test malfunction, but can you imagine getting that?
Someone
That's hilarious.
That's too
Good
much
job.
work.
That's awesome.
You're happy with that,
Chucky's running around.
Love it.
Kidnapped his son
are you? In Texas.
in Texas.
Wow. Lost Chucky doll. Oh, that's very droll. You decide, go to our Facebook site, more questions and answers with Adrian Lee. A ghostly figure spotted on Google Maps lurking inside a deserted building in Chernobyl has freaked out the internet. TikTok user hidden on Google.Earth shared the creepy discovery just 4 days ago, and his video has already been seen more than 145,000 times. The clip shows him zoom in and out of a post office in the Ukraine. Following the Chernobyl... See, you think you've got a bad job. You could be at the post office in Chernobyl right now, couldn't you? Yeah.
Wild dogs.
The letters are glowing. It's dark and you're putting them in the mailbox and they're glowing bright green.
Radioactive
No matter
hogs.
how bad your job gets, you're not working in a post office in Chernobyl.
In winter.
What can't you get? There's no one there. No one's coming for stamps. Nothing.
We'll probably still have to deliver stupid Amazon.
Yeah. You're in Chernobyl and
know they
you're
do.
delivering dog food. See, someone always has it worse than you. Can't you get a transfer? You sat there at the desk wearing a radiation suit with a tie on over the top.
The window.
Lovely, that's great. We've got a fantastic job for you. It's going to be, there's hardly anyone there. Be very quiet.
Quiet.
It's very quiet. That's
Pays
just
good.
a joy, isn't it? Wow. Following the Chernobyl disaster in 1986, and who thought that could be funny? The building was quickly abandoned, leaving all that was left to slowly rot away. So it sounds like the postal service in this country. In the video, postcards and letters can be seen littering the floor, while a bizarre, colourful mural remains intact. So there's a 30-year-old man somewhere in the Ukraine still waiting for his spy watch and his sea monkeys.
Yes.
It's a sad state of affairs. To be fair, if it's been on the floor of the post office in Chernobyl, would you want it delivered?
No.
Probably not. But there appears to be one thing out of place in the room. As the camera pounds around, an eerie figure can be seen perching on the windowsill, pointing at the camera. Wow, it's like Donald Sutherland in The Body Snatchers. It's impossible to see its face as its long white cloak covers it.
Bunk.
If you're playing the Bell Bunk and Snort drinking game, apparently an old man pointing at the camera in a post office in Chernobyl covered in a blanket has done it for Morris. It's impossible to see his face. Thousands of viewers have flocked to the comments section to share their terror at the sight. If you watch it, it'll come out of the television, one remarked. That's poltergeist, isn't it?
And that's
Another
bunk.
said it's a faceless
The ring.
ghost. Morris has said it's bunk again. You can have your third drink of this evening on us. A third commented that they were terrified. Others suggested it may simply have been a small statue. But that still does not convince some paranormal believers. I thought it was a statue at first, but it sure looks like a dishevelled man pointing at the camera.
Bunk.
I don't think we've ever had in the history of MQTA 3 bunks in one story. I'm glad you were here to witness it with me. I have tears welling in my eyes and a lump forming in my throat. Ghost in the Ukraine, or they're insane. You decide for yourself. You can go to our Facebook site, More Questions and Answers with Adrian Lee, and see the video for yourself in full. What have you got for me tonight in the Ghost Round, Miss Corrie?
A ghostly figure has been spotted standing over a grave at a cemetery dubbed the most haunted in New England. Haunting pictures seem to show the shape of a person wearing a long cloak.
Bunk.
We're going to rear the barrel out tonight. You're really on a round of bunk there, aren't you? You need to get it out. She's got bunk Tourette's over there.
The bunk is strong with this
Do
one.
continue, Miss Corrie.
Tyler Caranosis, 26, took the images during a visit to Pine Hill Cemetery in Hollis, New Hampshire. The burial ground is also known as Blood Cemetery, after Abel Blood, who is rumored to have been a murderer with occult connections and whose ghost is said to haunt the cemetery. Looking for something spooky, Tyler decided to visit the cemetery with a friend, and it wasn't long until he discovered the reason for the site's haunted reputation. Tyler, 26, said, "When we arrived, it was probably close to midnight. Some spots were cold and some spots were warm. It was strange."
Yes, if you're getting cold and warm spots all in the same place, that
Yes.
can be very strange.
"I believe a lot of it was adrenaline, but it's possible I was feeling the presence of a spirit."
Bunk.
He
It is the... How many bunks can we do in one show? Let's just get all our bunks out of the way.
Nope, there'll
And
still
then
be
we'll
more.
there's a couple... Squeeze one more out? One more for luck?
Do it.
There you go.
He continued, "I noticed the figure at one point when I turned around. It moved quickly and scared me. I then told my friend we should take flash photos before we leave. When we got home, we realized that what we had captured after going through our photos."
Your folders?
Yeah,
They're going through your photos.
Yeah, photos.
Look at me photos, sweetheart. Gosh,
Aye.
the birdie. Crash bang wallet. What a picture. What a photograph.
Chili, chili, bang, bang.
Wow. That took a turn, didn't it? God blimey. Mary Poppins. Happily apples and pears.
In one of Tyler's photos, some mist is visible between two rows of headstones.
Creepy.
But when the image is brightened, the mist forms the shape of a person wearing a long cloak.
Zorro or Batman? Which are we going with here?
I like Zorro.
Yeah, not the end of the world. My dad was a fencer at a very high level, and I followed in his footsteps, and I used to get called the son of Zorro.
Did you wear a cape?
I didn't, unfortunately. It kind of gets in the way when you're trying to parry and
Come
riposte.
on, man.
I'm sure I could find one for you.
Thank
I do
you.
a Doctor Strange, regularly at MarsCon and CryptoCon. I have a Doctor Strange costume, of course, with the goatee beard and the black hair with the grey at the sides and a bit of a British accent going on there. I can pull off a Doctor Strange. Yeah,
Yes.
true enough.
Bring the sword next time.
Doctor Strange is going to be in a film very shortly with the Fantastic Four, of all
Yes.
things. I saw that was on the cards. Fantastic Four coming back to Marvel. Do you have any more? Is that it?
That's it.
We're done for the evening, are we? Wow. Well, all good things come to an end. So let us look at tonight's scores. In last place with the K2 meter and the dead battery is myself. I only managed to score 4 points this evening, which is rather disappointing, but I'm surrounded by tea and chocolate. So how can you be sad?
Nah.
I'm loved by many, apparently. I get a night with a Marilyn Monroe lookalike, which could be worse, and a naked Roman soldier trying to slap me to make me fertile. Took a turn at the end, but I was in at the beginning.
Yeah.
Still not the end of the world for a third place
Yeah.
prize. In second place tonight is Miss Morris. She managed to score herself a 6 on our Valentine's Day special. She gets a box of orange creams and coconut creams and a chance to get to fourth base with a ghost.
Bunk.
She is bunking her own prize, which has never happened before. Lots of firsts, lots of new things happening on our show. In first place tonight with a double integer of 10, wheeling away the $33,000 IR camera in resplendent first place is Michelle Corrie. For her 10, she gets a Chucky doll and a job in a radioactive post office.
Yay!
Why not?
I'm sure we can throw in a cloak as well for you. Do not fear, listener. Remember, we are back with a whole new bunch of stories next week at the same time, and I would love for you to join me for a fun and informative journey through the world of the paranormal, strange, intriguing, bizarre, and weird. My gratitude and greatest thanks are extended to Lorna Hunter, Heather Morris, Yaton Drainer, Michelle Corrie, and for everyone who sent in Valentine's Day gifts and parcels. We much appreciate that. Thank you for making the time. We really do love all of our listeners. It just remains for me to say thank you for listening, and remember, be interested and interesting. Good night.